Shambho, Mahadev, Mahadev, Mahadev. So the Raja asked Gautama to stay in his palace for some time so that he gets purified. Why? Because he was going to speak on the Panchagni Vidya, which is nothing but the total evolution of the world. What is Panchagni Vidya? Total evolution of the universe, world. Anything that, how it comes, it goes in the world. What we call it as coming and going. What we call it as being born and being dead. What we call it as sowing and reaping. What we call it as growing. What we call it as beginning and end. So how things are formed, how things are managed. This secret is called Panchagni. Yeah. Only thing, the Maharshis and Tapasvis and Jnanis had divided them into different portions. So Panchagni, 5 portions, so Panchagni they said. So the 5th oblation is the man. 5th oblation is the human, they said. That's why Raja asks about do you know about the 5th oblation, not man? Ultimately he is asking, do you know it is water? 5th oblation is water. That's the principle behind it. Apa, water means not the jalam, it is jala tattva. Always remember that. We are not talking about the material jalam. The jalam, what you are seeing, or the apa, the jala, what you are seeing outside, is in the form of liquid, is nothing but an object. It's an object which is a bhuta. That's why it is known as bhautika. The microcosm of it. The bhuta sharira, that means the sthula sharira of it. The sthulata is that what you are seeing. It's not the sukshmata. Whereas in the Upanishads and the Shastras are describing and informing and intimating and telling us and instructing us the principle of the sukshmata, which is invisible, which is the tattva. From the principle only the stulata comes. From then only the manifestation takes place and the stulata comes. So from the shabda, from the vayu, from the prithvi, from the jala, from the agni, tattvas, the manifestation of the bhutas come. So when that is the case, does it belong to anything? Is there some, he has asked an intricate question to him, is that a Shvetaketu, do you know, what did he say? There are 5 questions he has asked. That where does the soul go after death, and why this world is not getting flooded with the jivatmas from what is called the birth and what is called death, etc., etc. These are the questions he has asked. But so what is the? So he did not know that what is called the Suryapatha, or what is called the Chandrapatha. These are the questions he has asked. Those were the 5, no? Do you know where the creatures go up from here? Do you know how they return? Do you know where the path of gods and the path of me, that is the Suryapatha and Chandrapatha? And do you know what is called the 5th oblation? And do you know how the world does not become filled? And then do you know how water comes to be known by the word person? This is how he has asked. How water is known to be known as person after the 5th oblation, he said. So these are the 5 questions he has asked. The Panchagni is nothing but this, the principle of this. As we said in the initial stage itself, Chhandogya173 is explaining about the truth of the world in existence, what we call as, what we are seeing, Bhautika Jiva. He is connecting with the Bhautika with Adhyatma, actually. Bhautika and Adhyatma. Bhutas, or the Stulata. He is connecting the Stulata to the Sukshmata. The differences of Stulata and Sukshmata comes only based on the perception of ours. That's all. These perceptions are created. How are they created? They are manifestations. The manifestations from the Purusha to, as the manifestations from Purusha to Prakriti has come, in the same way, everything has come and everything goes. We call it as coming and going. Well, basic principle here we have to understand before we start this Panchagni. I mean, this explains here, it's not that at the end. But I would like to tell you before, so that your concept should be clear while listening to the details, minute details where you will think we are going somewhere. No, it's not that. I want you to put the knowledge before and probably that will be better for understanding, I thought. Even though instead of telling at the end, so in the beginning. What is a perception? That nothing comes and goes. That's all. Nothing comes and goes. Everything is there. They are all manifestations. That's all. From the Sukshma to Sthula, they are all nothing but manifestations. Whether it is human form, animal form, tree, plant, annam, everything is manifestation. During the process of these manifestations, even though one feels that something is coming and going, because there is Chara, Achara, we said, you remember, some time back I have explained about the Chara, Achara. Chara comes from the Achara. Charate means that which is moving. That which is moving comes from the stillness. The stillness is the one which has caused the movement. The movement doesn't cause stillness. Stillness causes the movement. So, the whole principle of the perception of the creation of the universe, creation of the world, creation of this Sthula Sukshma, perception of Sthula Sukshma, everything is based on the cause and effect. Karya Karana. Is that what he said? Cause and effect. Now, when you analyze further how the cause has come from the effect, how the effect has come from the cause, has the effect come from the cause? So if the cause has come from the effect or the effect has come from the cause, what is the difference between cause and effect? When you look into it and keep on researching, keep on looking, keep on researching, keep on analyzing what will happen, during the analysis what happens of the cause and effect, we will start. How is the analyzing and contemplation takes place? Contemplation and analyzing takes place by disintegration of it, is it not? You have to disintegrate what is the cause and what is effect. In integrated form it is shown as a cause and it is shown as an effect. Now when you disintegrate that and start analyzing them into in toto, what happens is that ultimately, eliminating one after another, you will find neither there is cause nor effect. There is a substance which is there, which is known as an existence, which what will you call that? Will you call it as a cause, or will you call it as an effect? Yeah. Today let me tell you another secret which I was thinking myself for some time. I do not know, it's not somewhere I found out. Let me tell you let me ask you rather, probably I may be contemplating myself wrong or what. Are we not misled from ages? It's a question from me. Are we not misled from ages that something when it comes visible to me, I call it birth. When it becomes invisible to me, I call it death. What I am thinking, when it becomes visible to me is death, and when it becomes invisible to me is birth. So when that happens, the death what we are calling today, should we not call it as birth? Instead of saying somebody has died, I would call it as somebody has born. Now you can think about it. Or when they come, I would say they are dead. Very different question. Again the same cause and effect. Which is birth? What is birth? What is birth? When it appears to you, you call it as birth. It may be birth for you, but is it really a birth? So there are two things. One is that it is birth for me, for you, the one who is seeing it. The one who is seeing and the one who is existing are different. Which is the truth? The one who is existing or the one who is seeing? Because the one who is seeing is temporary, the one who is existing is permanent. If we are saying that, is it not the whole Upanishad, whole universe, we all say that? There is an existence. If existence is the truth, is not the death is the birth? And the birth is the death. From the world of existence, let me divide it into two worlds. One world who are all seeing, one world who is existence. which is the greater part of it. This world who is seeing is only the smaller part of it. So when it goes from here to there, is it not a birth? Is it not a birth? That is a birth. And that is the truth. I have not asked you a question. That is the truth. Because you are born there only, you are born there. In the sense, you are being there. That is, one with the existence is the birth. The one away from the existence is death. It's a different concept. I'm just giving you an idea to think. Yeah? Is it not? Which is birth, which is death. So, when I am telling about this Panchagni, just giving you so that the concept or your manifestation during the process of these, there are various small explanations for various things. Like we have explained earlier on the meditation. So this concept, if it is there, probably this will be much clearer than going through this and trying to attain that. Maybe. Is what I have. It's nowhere there. I don't think you have heard also. Probably you may think this man has gone mad. When we say everybody is being born, we say dead. And somebody is dead, we say somebody is born. Who this world will call me only mad, is it not? Nothing other than that. So if they call me mad, I would have to call them reverse, is it not? That so. Because for them it is reverse, for me it is reverse, so I call them reverse, that's all. Yes. Now, just think, this is what is the truth actually, now which is the truth. Cause and effect. What is cause? What is effect? What is the difference between the cause and effect? Even though it appears to be there is a cause and there is an effect, cause and effect is all this. Sunlight is there, so the warmth is there. The cause is that, the effect is this. Now when you keep on analyzing it, the heat and the light, because there is heat, we call it as light. Because there is brightness, we call it as light. But there are so many lights even other than that. Analysis will go on like that, eliminating one after another, and you will find the differences between the perception. It all depends upon the perception, how you perceive it. So, the question that has been asked by the Raja, Panchala Raja, to Shvetaketu was very pertinent, because a person who has undergone the studies of the Adhyatma, people are, from ages, people are discussing how the world has come. Somebody said it's a big bang, somebody from sound, somebody from water, somebody said from this, and somebody said this, cause and effect. It's only the question of perception, is it not? When did the world come? When did the world come? The day you manifested it and identified it as a world. For you and me, the day I am born in this world, in the material world, I am the world where I am seeing, I said the world is born, world is there. The day I die, the world is not there for me, is it not? So the world, what I call, it is there and it is not there, is a cause and effect. That is, the cause is that I am able to see is the cause. The effect is that I am able to identify it as death and birth. So the day, the moment, now how the analysis goes or the contemplation goes, the moment I change the perception of seeing, then the cause and effect changes. The perception of seeing, the time, the moment I change the perception of seeing, that world is there, will not be there. The world is not there. I change my perception of looking. That's all. Well, we are unable to imagine because we are not doing it. We cannot do it because we are very much, linked and loaded with the sthula bhava and sthula sharira and experiences of sthulata. We are unable to move away from the sthulata. As I told you in the previous class, the molecule, when it starts, the atom and the microns and the protons and the neutrons and the tanmatras, when the tanmatras, when it is moving by itself, it doesn't understand it is moving in the universe, the space in the universe. It is identifying itself as a separate entity from the universe, even though I am in this. As we identify, bedroom as different from living room. In the same house. In totality you call it as a house. But the moment you come inside the house, from outside you call it as a house. From outside you say, this is my house. Okay, open the door. The moment you come inside you say, you have got again. The house is divided into so many parts. No, this is kitchen, this is bedroom, this is. Again you go into the bedroom. The bed is different from the bedroom. Again you lie down on the bed, a particular place of the bed is yours, the other place you won't get sleep. Everybody has their own position. You see, where are we? What are you seeing? Which is true? What is the truth? What is the truth? Yes. Everything is a truth. That's all. What is the cause? What is the effect? Is it a house? When we call it from outside, we call it as a house. When we go deeper into sthulata, more sthulata, we identify it as my place in the bed. That's all. At that time, have you ever thought when you are lying down in the bed, have you thought you are lying inside your house? How many of us have thought that? We are sleeping inside our house. I don't think any human being has thought. Only when we think like this, then only we realize it. We don't. You understand what I am trying to tell you? When you are lying down in the bed, you don't think that you are in the house. You are not conscious that you are in the house. I am making you conscious that you are in the house, then you are conscious. You are aware. But have you been conscious every moment that when you are lying down, you are in the house? Or in the bedroom? Or in the living room? Or in the kitchen? No. Then what happens? You, as a tanmatra, you move around yourself, is it not? You are not thinking about the house. Same way, the tanmatra, you understand now? Is it not possible? Since you being in that position, the you lying down on the bed or sitting in the kitchen can be thinking only that you are there. The same way the tanmatra is thinking that I am independent of the universe. Is it not possible? Do you understand now? Because you are doing it every day. That you are independent of the house. When you are sitting inside the house and sleeping in the house. Only when you go out of the house, then only you think you have to come to the house. There in the universe, what happens? The going out doesn't take place. Going out, because everything is in the universe, everything is Brahmanda. So going out of Brahmanda doesn't take place, is why I am not identifying that is Brahmanda and this is not Brahmanda. I'm only saying that I am different, Brahmanda is different, that's all. Even though I am in the Brahmanda, same way as I am in the kitchen. Am I right? Could you get it? Is it not possible? So what is that? Your perception of seeing, your perception of understanding, that's all. You are in the kitchen. Why don't you say I am in the house? Don't want to generalize it, you see. Why you are not able to generalize it? Because you would like to have your classification of position is there. That means you are giving importance to your status of individuality, identity. You have to give an identity. Even though you are in the house, you have to give an identity that I am in this XYZ. See, is it not? I'm just comparing, but don't have absolute comparison. I mean, and as just an example to give you that perception of that Tanmatra being in the universe and then you being in the house. Same. Why I said that? Because it is our perception of the universe, our perception of the Brahmanda, it makes. Is there a cause and effect ultimately? What is the cause? What is it? After that, that's why I'm just telling you about this only. So the birth takes place, goes to where it goes, where it comes back, we'll be discussing that. What is called going and what is called coming. When we realize the going and coming is this, when you are in this station, railway Howrah station, yes, you will say the train is coming. When it departs to some other station, you say the train is going. Now, you are in Delhi. The same train you called as going from here, there it is coming. And the one who said you are coming here, he said going. It's the same train. So when you are in this station, this is going. That which is going from here, when you are in that station, is coming. Is the train going or coming? Tell me. Is the train going or coming? Depends upon where you position yourself. That's all. Simple. No. That we all know that. It depends on me position. So it is not the train going and coming, it is I going and coming. You see, now the perception has changed. So if this has changed, don't you think the birth is death and death is birth? If this is true, are you getting it? It's a high, very principle. Truth is the truth. So what is that? We don't create any significance to it. It's only to connect with the train coming and going. Who bothers about it, whether it is coming or not? We are now given an import. I'm just giving you an example now. Now you will think, is it not so long? Nobody must have thought. Depends upon me. So everything is depending on me. Is it true? It is not true. Is it truth? It is not truth. It is to my convenience I said it is coming and going. That means my perception at that point of time. The moment I change my position, the coming and going also changes. It has got no significance. So the coming and going is only absolutely impermanent. Is it not? Impermanent. Same way, being born and being dead is impermanent. Is it going or is it coming? This is what my question. Raja asked, somebody going or somebody coming? Is the train going and coming? Am I coming and going? Am I being born and being dead? When we understand this secrecy of the truth of our perception, the capacity of the perception of the manifestation, the secret of the manifestation, the secret of the perception of manifestation, there is no manifestation. The secret of the perception of manifestation actually. Manifested. Then you will realize that whom I call as I, the Tanmatra, the moment it realizes this perception, Tanmatra realizes that I am not separate, I am the part of the Brahmanda. Gradually, I am the Brahmanda. When I look at me in my position, then only I realize that it is separate. The separation itself, the separate itself is a manifestation I created based on my being to identify my position. So one has to know which is my position, what is my position. To know my position, one should have there what? 2 oblations there. This is called Agni. Panchagni is that Yajnam. Everything is Yajna. The Mai has to be oblated. Position has to be oblated. First position has to be oblated. Then the Mai has to be oblated. Then only the Mai position will change its status. The Me will become the Brahmanda. The position also will become the Brahmanda. There is no 2 things. There is no my and there is no my position. Whereas when I identify them separately, when I identify me separately, me is separate. My position is separate. Is it not? I have manifested it. Now, the object or that perception of the position, which is an imagination, which is a status, what we call, and the me, the status, position is what? Position is XYZ. You are at this location is also position. You are in this status of mind is also position. You are in the status of wealth, it is also position. You are in the status of health is also position. You are in the status of the identity as brother, sister, mother, daughter, things X, Y, Z, tree, plant, and then animal is also position. They are all positions, and I is also a position. I also is an identity. When that I identity is there, all these positions are there. Right? Where are these positions situated? Are you able to see them? No. They are your manifestation and perception. Is it not that your manifestations? Why this perception of manifestation has come? Because of your misunderstanding of I. Because of your misunderstanding of I, you have divided yourself into so many positions. Every day, every moment, every second, your position changes, is it not? Because you can conveniently change it because there is no firm law on that, you see. In my mind, I can change myself anything. I am the king. Oh, okay. Who bothers? Oh, no, you can. No, fine, no. I am so and so, I can think. You see, my position can be changed depending upon my own manifestation. So long I am able to think, I can change my position according to that. I am this, I am that, I am that, I am that, I was this, I was that, I was that. I will be, I will be, I will be, I will be. They are all, when you see that, you have seen that. When you are seeing it, you have got the happiness. The happiness is an effect, and the seeing that what you have seen in your perception, in your manifestation, is a cause. Yeah? So the cause is a manifestation. If the cause itself is manifestation, what is the effect? Effect is also manifestation, is not. It cannot be different. If that is fiction, this is also fiction. This is the secret. That's called Rahasya of the Brahma Tattva, Brahma Jnana. Is the basis of what we are going to talk, is why I am saying all these things. So Raja has asked, now you understand? Is there any answer is same for all the 5 questions, is it not? For, as far as the Raja says. Raja has asked Shvetaketu, hey Shvetaketu, do you know the answer? He said immediately he was perplexed. Oh, how is the birth taking place? And where is after death? Where is he going? Started from that, the coming and going. Nothing comes, nothing goes. When nothing comes and nothing goes, which is known as achara, that which is not movable. That's why movable and immovable. Movable and immovable things, that achara, achara. So from the achara only, that which is not movable, immovable only, the movable has come. Is it not now? You understand now? From that nothing only, I have created, manifested all these things. When was the world? When has the world come? When I perceived it as a world. That's all. For me, there is a world of this. For somebody, there is a world of that. Is Brahadaranya Upanishad comes to that conclusion, where it is absolutely beyond the Atma Tattvam is Brahadaranya. Whereas in the Chhandogya, he is making us familiar with the grassroots of our thinking, and through the grassroots of our thinking, he Vaishambhayana and Yajnavalkya is taking us towards the Adhyatma Tattva. Is what is happening actually. So you will find many of them we are talking about the manifestations, so that we are clear about the manifestations. We don't have a misunderstanding. These manifestations are true. Somebody said, I am a saint. It's a manifestation. Sainthood is an experience. When it is an experience, there is no cause and effect. When I qualify myself as I am a saint, there is a cause and effect. Karma is why Karma Kanda is the biggest chapter in Bhagavad Gita. Rig Veda is the biggest Veda. Number of Samhitas, Upasamhitas, and all those are there. Upanishads are there in the Rig Veda, basically, where he starts, and Rig Veda also begins like this only. Yes, where he begins with the Agni, Agneya, starts with the Surya. Surya and Prakasha of the Surya manifestation. So from Surya only, the beginning of Rig Veda begins, from the light, from the heat, from where it starts. So experiencing the manifestation of the manifested world is Bhautika Loka, Bhutas. If I feel it is there, it is there. If I feel it is not there, it is not there. It's all experiencing. Again, everything is experiencing. What is the truth? Is the Bhautika truth, Adhyatma truth. Both are not true. The truth, both of them are manifestations. I called it this as an Adhyatma, so it has become Adhyatma. I called it this as Bhautika, so Bhautika. Is there a difference between Bhautika and Adhyatma? There is no, as I always tell them. Remember, from the very beginning I had been telling that there is no two different things. There is no materialism and spiritualism. Everything is spiritualism. When everything is spiritualism, what will I call it? Is that it? Today I call it as spiritualism. But for the knowing, I say that everything, materialism and spiritualism, both are spiritualism. There is nothing. Bhuta, bhautika means it is a manifestation. I have manifested it. Bhuta. So the perception of manifestation, when it comes, I created a bhuta. When the perception of manifestation has been removed from me and the perception has changed, that it is bhuta is only a perception which is a sthula bhava of the sukshmata, of the secret, then the bhuta has no importance. That is why this is known as sacrifice, this is known as oblation, this is known as yajna. So by identifying neti, there's a principle of neti, by principle of eliminating of the untruth, the truth is revealed here. In the ones who are living in the bhautika loka, they will have to eliminate the untruth and find out the truth is what is happening. That's why we call it as bhautika and adhyatma. Only for the perception of identifying what is to be renounced, what is to be oblated, what is to be sacrificed. You see. So those which are bhautika, what we call is a sacrament to sacrifice in the yajna kuntha or the agni, is how this has to be understood. Then only we will know the truth of the adhyatma, then only we will know that it is adhyatmam. We have by sacrificing, what we call it as sacrifice, or what we call it as oblation, or what we call it as putting into the yajna kunda in the agni, is nothing but, what is the term, pouring and putting into agni, burning it into agni and making it, removing it from me and eliminating from me, sacrificing from me, renouncing from me, all gives a word. The word meaning, when you go literally, when you go word meaning and all that, you will find that you are losing something. Losing. I am giving away that. Oh my God. Losing something. Actually, what is happening? You are gaining. Renouncing, you have an external feeling of giving away, will have a feeling of losing. The losing is gain. It's gaining. How do you identify that? Can you explain it? How we lose and gain? Because how can the loss be a gain? How can the loss be a gain? If I oblate the bhauta, how it becomes a gain to me?
Gaining the higher principles.
Who is gaining?
Atma.
I have only asked how it becomes a gain. How it becomes a gain. How the loss becomes a gain. Not I.
You gain peace.
The shields and the...
Simple.
Yeah.
In the perception, in the cause, again, that's why I said about the cause and effect. So long the cause is adhyatma, the effect is bhautika, is there. So it's a manifestation. When I have manifested bhutas, yes, what happened? I have manifested the sthulata from the sukshmata. In the adhyatma, there is a sukshma bhava, shabda sparsha rasa rupa gandha is there. So I created one out of that, from there, I created a bhuta. Even though shabda is the cause of it, shabda is the one which is cracked and created an akara. An akara was created. When that akara is created, I identified as akara is real, but shabda is vanished from my concept, is removed. I identified only the akara, but the day through the meditational process, I realized that the akara has to be oblated. When the sacrifice of the akara has been done, immediately I realized it is Shabda which is the truth. Have you understood? The loss, is it a loss? The loss, gain, what I am talking about, why the loss becomes a gain? The akara is lost, but the principle of akara is a gain. Is it not? Rasa Rupa Gantha. From the rasa, yes. The taste of the object is gone, but the taste of the object remained. That's the one which is creating the vasanas. So stulata is vanished and sukshmata is retained. Is why we said gain. So why the gain? Gain means that if so long that akara was there, so long that projection, manifestation from the sukshmata to stulata has been done, I understood or I believed that is the sukshmata. The stulata is called sukshmata. So even though the capacity from the Shabda Sparsha Rasa Rupa Gandha, I can create more manifestations. Yes. I can create number of this one. Yes. But what happened? My perception has become, since I have converted this into this one, that is the perception finished. Because of this is there, so long this is there, my perception of tattva of the Shabda has vanished into this, diluted into this light. So I will not make any more manifestations. I do not make. Whereas I got a capacity to make thousands of them like this. Thousands of them. But I lost the capacity of making them. Why? Because I understood this as my capability and conceded that into that, confided into it, conceded into it, and stopped my further progress on that. Now the gain has become loss, loss has become the gain. Alright? Had the perception been firm that it is the tattva that with which I could make the bhuta, I will keep making the bhutas depending upon my requirement. Whereas I changed my perception from the bhuta from the tattva to the bhuta, so I confided myself only in the bhuta, not in the tattva, not in the principle. Am I right? Could you get it? All right. That's why the perception of the akara has to be oblated, so the principle has been gained out of it. So have I lost something? Not lost anything. Have I gained? Yes, I have gained. The knowledge of the tattva has been gained so that I will not confide me myself into only in that particular objective vision, whereas from the subjective vision, any number of objective visions can be created. I will come to that. Is it not? That's called Adhyatma. So when I know anything can be created from this subject, these are all the possibilities, I will not create it. Alright? Do I? With this subject, I can create all this. Maharishis and Tapasvis, they experimented and found they could create diamonds, they could create this, they could make mountains, they could make this, a lot of things. They did it. They identified. They stopped making it. Why? Because they, against the principle of law. Manifestation is against the principle of law of nature. Manifestation. Law of nature is to be with the law of the nature. That what I am doing, experimenting, is only for the purpose of knowing my own capabilities. That's an individual capacity, but it is not meant for utility part of it. So the Bhutas are not used by Maharishis. They only identified their capabilities. They kept quiet. That's why the siddhis that they have, they do not exhibit. Only the siddhas who have not identified the adhyatma part of it, they will only express their siddhis. Because they go against the law, whereas the one who has identified the adhyatma, sushmata, one with the Brahman, he will not violate the law of the karma. Why? Because the law of nature is created by himself. Who is he? He is a Purusha. He has created it. How he can violate it? Even though he can. But how he can violate it? So he doesn't violate it. He has the capability. Is why the Siddhi. Now how he will do it? He will make the object undergo the process of changes, as I always tell that the Guru undergoes the sufferings, support the sufferings of the disciple. You must have noticed in many Puranas, Kahanis and all that, and we always ask a question as a normal human being with a limited knowledge, everything limited. Okay. We will always ask, see how much that person is praying to the God, and you see he is got only suffering. Whole life he suffered. Whole life, Kuchela, what is his name? Sudama, Kuchela, Sudama suffered daridrata. For whom? For you and me, not for Sudama, not for Krishna. For Krishna and Sudama, it is a great experience. Krishna says, there is no one like him. Even I cannot do this, he said. Bhagavan said, even I cannot do this. Sudama said, this is my karma, but I will have to experience it so that I feel, I am always feeling the Bhagavan in me. What is there? If some rice is not there, if some cloth is not there, if a house is not there, do you think that I am a poor man? The poverty is calculated based on that. For him, all others are poor. Who doesn't have Brahman in them is poor and he is rich, as far as he is concerned. You see? How? This is what I had been, the same principle I've been telling. The perception. Kuchela did not feel he is a poor man. Kuchela didn't feel that he doesn't have anything. He is a Brahmajnani. He is a Tattvajnani. He knows that he is undergoing, experimenting, experiencing his karmas and exhausting them. And he said, hey Bhagavan, only please help me to undergo that. And Bhagavan, again being a favorite of Bhakta, he is making him undergo that, what we call it as sufferings. That means he is making him experiencing more and more, so that the more and more he experiences, Bhagavan is happy. Why? Because he is coming out of that. For him, he is looking at as if he is climbing up. But people who is there, he thinks that he is coming to me, climbing up. For others, who is on the ground, they think that, oh my, he is downtrodden. Bhautika and Adhyatma, materialism and spiritualism. So every activity is spiritualism. Everything should be done. Not that everybody has to become sannyasis. Many people have got this wrong concept. Don't attend Upanishad classes. You will suddenly become a sannyasi. As if though they have got so much of high qualities, that fellow comes and attends Upanishad class, suddenly he will become a sannyasi. He will be better than me then. It's not. No, don't go. If you listen to all that, so much of Capability, yes. If he has got so much of capability, without listening also he would become. Is it not? If he has got that capacity of changing himself into a sannyasi just by listening. Not necessary. What is sannyasa? The wrong concept of sannyasa in our society is that is a big cause, and some people also has created this, of course. I do blame the people for that. They made them feel that this is called sannyasa. Sannyasa is a status of mind. Everything is a status of mind. It's not the status of sharira. As I told you, the perception, the day I understand the tattva, and I have manifested it, I can also remove it from that manifestation. I can also manifest hundreds of things. The day I know that I can manifest things, I will only say that it is only a manifestation. Simple thing to understand. You give nowadays that, not nowadays, from long, there are so many building toys have come. You can assemble them as a castle. You can assemble them as a house. You can assemble them as many other, an animal. So you give to children. So you put this and this together. You can see. What is that? Everything is in those blocks only, is it not? From those blocks, you can make anything. After making everything, first it is initially, this is very interesting to child, he can make so many things. Once he has understood from the same blocks I can make so many things. Right? It's a very good example for that. This is called the principle, identifying the tattva and identifying the manifestation. Will that man create that manifestation? He can do. Tapasvi, Maharishi, who is a Brahmajnani, who is a part of Brahman, he can do anything. Like this, it comes. When it is necessary, he will do it. If it is in flow with the law of karma, law of prakriti, he will do it because it flows along. If it is going against the prakriti, he being the part of the Purusha and prakriti, how he can do that what is against him? He will not do it. But he can do it. He has already learned, like the blocks have been assembled by many things. He has made a dog, then he made with the same thing, he made a castle, he has made a sea, he made this, he made that. Everything he knows he can do it. Through tapasya, one can know it. But he will not deviate from the path. Now what he will do? He will allow the Jivatma to undergo the experience and reveal that, look, you can do it. Now this is what is the truth. That what you had been doing is only the Sthula Bhava and this is the Sukshma Bhava. Enjoy the Sukshma Bhava, not the Sthula Bhava, because Sthulata is temporary. That which you have manifested is temporary. Since you can manifest it, you can also unmanifest it. That being the one which is projected by you, it can be destroyed and it can be distracted. So don't believe in it, believe in you. Just coming to that much. Believing that principle of that. When you understand this, when you realize this, this is called the cause and effect. Understood? When you understand this, the effect becomes the cause becomes the effect. Because I manifested, I understood I can manifest it. The moment I understood it, I removed the manifestation, I believed in the truth. So, the cause has become the effect first, and the effect has become the cause, and then diluted. Clear? This is what he said. So, Bhagavan said, this is the introduction. So, what I had said. So, before the Panchagni Vidya, it's a big subject, it's a very interesting subject. Of course, no. But one has to be in that plane, then only one can really catch it up. Even though we may think we understand, we have to be in that plane. Then only you can experience it. If you don't experience it, you won't. It's not a question of understanding, it's a question of experience. Understanding can be done only from that which is manifested, only can understand. That which is Adhyatma is experienced. That which is Bhautika is understood. Is it not? That which is Bhautika, material, is understood. That which is Adhyatma is experienced. The material can be experienced. One is called experiencing. The material can be experienced, but the feeling has to be, one is experimented, another is experienced. One is experimented, another is experienced. So the matter, whatever is there, that can be understood. The manifested can be understood, but the capability of the manifestation has to be experienced. It's called Adhyatma, has to be experienced. Bhautika is understood. So understanding is not, here the question of not understanding is not there. Who understands? The one who has a body and mind and intelligence. It's the one who is understanding. Understanding is a purpose of awareness, that's all. Aware. Experiencing is necessary. That which is to be experienced. So, these are the things. So, when we listen to this Panchagni, so now we understand what is Panchagni. Panchagni is but nothing but the meditation of the oblations. Yes, through meditations of the oblations from Panchagni Vidya, what we understand? The yajna, the creation, and that what has to be sacrificed. So Bhagavan said he also starts like the Rig Veda in section 4, 541. He says, Asau Vavaloko Gautama Agnisya Aditya Eva Samidrishyamo Dhumo Ahararchis Chandrama Angaraha Nakshatrani Vispulingaha. He has divided them. He starts like this. Upanishad always gives explanations in disguise. You see. They never put the thing straightforward. You see. I think I have explained you earlier also. Why is it that? Let us understand that. Because the whole meaning will change when there is neither Loka, nor He Gautama, Agni, nor Aditya, Surya, Eva, Samidrishyama, Dhuma, smoke, and Chandrama. They are all the Bhutas existing, is it not? And Angara, is it? That this word. Angara is the sparks, Angara. Nakshatrani. They are all expressing through these mediums, expressing the bigger principle of the oblation and the karma yoga in this. It's a very big chapter. One shloka can be expanded to any extent. Right? But when you go into this one, how will you explain this, you tell me? Very difficult to understand. That is why these books have not become very famous like many other small title books. Common, today's life, not all. Many people could not understand this. But what happened at a time in Treta Yuga and Krita Yuga, Treta Yuga and Dwapara, many people understood it, so they could understand that. Krita Yuga, or there are two names for Krita Yuga, or Satya Yuga is called it. Where Satya is known, truth is known. Yes, why this is. Now, what is the. I think I have explained it, but again I'll remind you now. You may not be remembering it now. Why they go into these, through these objects or through this disguising, the principle of making you understand not in the straight way. Suppose I tell you, the karma that you are executing, each and every karma that you are doing, like Krishna has told Arjuna, don't expect any result out of it. You execute your karma, leave the karma phala to me. That means the karma, what is again? Now, little more explanation is required again there also. The karma that you are doing here, Arjuna, that you have to think it as a sacrifice. That means that which has been sacrificed will not come back. Is the principle. So you have to think the karma as a sacrifice. When you think the karma as a sacrifice, you know that you will not get any result out of it. And that result which you will not get, since you have sacrificed it, that whichever has been sacrificed will always come to me. So, hey Arjuna, don't expect the result, do your karma. That itself is a disguise, even that word. Here, exactly this is what he is telling. When he is telling about the Loka and the Agni and the Aditya, about the karmas they are talking about. What is the Agni? Agni is that which is fire, Agni Tattva. It is the Agni Tattva that comes from the Surya. So in the Surya what happens? You get the light. Light is what? Jnanam. Again, he is told. Again, Jnanam. In that Jnanam, with that Jnanam only, you will be in a position to execute a karma. Without Jnanam, nobody can execute a karma. There has to be some Jnanam, whatever Jnanam it is. There has to be a knowledge. So when you do a karma, from that Jnanam, he says, this has to be oblated. Each and every karma has to be sacrificed and oblated, because you are doing karma itself is for the purpose of sacrificing, because the whole life is meant for sacrificing. Jiva Tattva itself, hey Gautama, the yonder world is indeed the fire. Of that sun indeed is the fuel. The rays are the smoke. Now this is how it's explained. The rays are the smoke. The day is the flame. The moon is the ember. The stars are the sparks. Finished. This is the meaning of the shloka. Now you derive, and it is wonderful, because this is the tattva, this is the principle. Now from this principle, any amount of manifestation can be done, and through those manifestations we will understand this principle. This principle in the sense, again, since Chhandogya Upanishad, he has mentioned about the Loka, Agni, Aditya and Nakshatra, Dhuma, everything. But they are all will lose their significance. As I told you, the name and the form and the shape and the kartavya and the kriyas, everything will lose its manifestation. Everything will lose its importance, or everything will lose its the shape and forms, once you know the principle of it and the truth of it. So to make you understand the truth, there has to be certain through manifestations. Then only you will be in a position to understand it. This is meant for the people, who are trying to understand it. So they may not understand the Atma Tattvam or the Brahma Tattva straight when it is told. Is why it has to be told it in disguise through various paths. What is the meaning of it? Why he has done it again? He wants us to walk through and pass through various paths and then come to understand that all these manifestations are the Atma Tattva. They are all manifestations created by you, the perception. You see, so changing the perception through elimination of everything. So he is trying to execute. That's why Upanishad always talks through disguise. Mundaga or Mandokya? Mundaga Upanishad, I think, no? One bird sitting on one branch, Mundaga Upanishad. Another bird sitting on the lower branch, both the birds same. One is enjoying the fruits, another is saying, no, witnessing. This is how Upanishad begins. You see how beautiful it is? Now we understand, so we know it. Now he has started like this, through disguise. You see how beautifully done. He is enjoying the fruits. He said the bird is enjoying the fruits. The other one says, don't eat. But the other one doesn't listen, he eats. He is eating the fruit, karma phala. Another is a witness, who is the Atma. One is a manifested bhautika loka. Another is an unmanifest truth, which is a adhyatma loka. Two words. Now, you see how he puts it. This is how the Upanishad, Maharishis put the way, beautifully put, because so that you go through that easier to understand and easier way to know that yes, it is manifestation. Suppose I tell you, do the oblation of your karmas, what you are doing, how will you do it? Tell me. No, it's not possible. Every karma that you are doing, think it is an oblation, sacrifice made into the, it's a sacrament sacrificed into the Yajna Agni, finished. Each and every karma. Yeah? Now, you start one word, you will have to have another path of it. This is the beauty of this. Let me go according to the flow. Hope you don't mind. Now suppose I say that you oblate the karma that you are doing into the Yajna. Yajna is the Agni, where everything has to go. Your karma phala, now karma phala, your punya, papa, everything has to go into the Jiva Agni. What is the Agni? Agni is that your life. The total life is the Agni. That means world. He said, hey, Gautama, the world indeed is the fire. World is what? World is only your span of life again. World is not that so long, 2000 AD. No, it's not. That's not the world. As far as you are concerned, see, now you tell me, suppose I tell world, will you understand this world? I mean, the span of life. Your span of life is your world, that's all. Now, your world is the world where you have to oblate your karma balas. Whether the world exists for others for thousands of years, 10,000, 5,000, 20,000 years, it does, nothing has to do with you. Forget about it. So he said, hey Gautama, that's why he said, Asau, Vava, Loko, Gautama, hey Gautama, as far as you are concerned, Loka. Loka means so long that your lifespan is remaining. That is the Loka. So the Loka is that your lifespan is remaining. So long the lifespan is there. That lifespan only you can feel there is a world and there is you. So you are the oblater, you are the one who is a yajamana to oblate. You are a yajamana to oblate. So the world, what you call the outside world, which is called as an Agni. So you are oblating the you, who is capable of oblating the sacrament, the bhutas for the yajna, that has to be oblated. You should oblate it into this span of your life, which is known as living. So ultimately, now we come to conclusion. Living is Agni. World is Agni. Living is Agni. So long you are living, that means if living is Agni, so long you are living, you have to do the oblation. Right? So the world means so long you are living. So long you are living means till the death, till the last moment it is living. So the whole living is known as the Yajna Kunda. That's called living. It's not the world means living. So that Yajna Kunda, if the Yajna Kunda is constantly there in the living, whatever is happening in the living has to be oblated, since the living itself is Yajna Kunda. So everything that is happening during the process of living is meant for Yajna. Again, now another perception. Yeah, you're getting it. See, every sentence is different. Every incident that is taken, if the living is Agni, world is Agni, span of life is Agni. So living is Agni. If living is Agni, everything that is happening in the living is meant to be oblated in the Agni only. Because the living is Agni, things are happening in the living only for keeping the Agni burning. The living going on. Right. So unless you pour the fuel in the Agni Kunda, the Agni will not burn. Unless you oblate the karmas into the Agni, your life will not go. Got it? And you have to pour the karmas, the bhutas, which will burn in the Agni. If you put mud in the Agni, Agni will go off. Then what happened? You are unable to do any oblation. If you are unable to do any oblation, you are unable to live. What is the meaning of it? That means the living that is there, which is supposed to happen, is not possible. You are stuck. The living is not happening, you are stuck there. Kashta dukha. Now, what to do? Mistake. Papa. What happened? Mistake. Papa ho gaya mere se. Now how to do it? I have to live, because I have been born. I have to live. Agni Kunda is there. Only thing I have put the mud, that's all. So what you have to do? What we have to do? To continue our life, continue the flame, what you have to do? Remove the mud. That's all. Absolutely right. Remove the mud. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? That which has been oblated has to be undone. In a video it is possible. You can rewind it. Like putting and coming back. It has to come back. No way, otherwise the flame will not come. In order to make the flame to coming, in order to make the life going, living, you will have to remove that mud. So removing the mud is that experimenting and exploiting the karma phala. This is what is that? Karma phala. Removing mud is a task, and it is a worthless job, because this cannot be oblated. That which cannot be oblated, you remember that? That which has to be put into the Agni should be meaning for burning it. The flame should go high. That which is oblated, which is not meant for the Agni burning, is the one which is blocking the Agni. That means which is blocking the living. So the true living is that every time in the living, in the Yajna-kunda, the fire should keep on burning. In order to make the fire keep on burning, you have to oblate only those which are inflammables. Is it not? Then only it can burn. Otherwise, it cannot burn. So what are those? That means karma should be. What is poured in the Agni Kunda? Ghee, this, that, which can be burnt. So you have to. Those which are purified karmas are the ones which are to be poured, so that the flame will keep on going high, life will keep on going smooth. At one point of time, when there is nothing more to oblate with me, let the fire go, let me go, and everything go, finished. Nothing is left. Is it not? But if you put mud, the problem is that putting mud, other things are all okay, understood. Stuck. Now removal of mud can take 1 janma or 10 janmas. Then only the flame will continue. You understood now why we are taking rebirth? We are taking rebirth from the time, not that previous one, from the time we put the mud into that. Till the time I remove the mud, I keep on coming to remove the mud. Karma phala, this is how it is explained about the karma phala, as you understood. This is known as papa karma. Otherwise, punya papa is this only. Our own experience only, not for Guru. Papa is this, till the time I remove the mud, the flame cannot be lighted up even though everything is there. But we keep on getting the opportunity in order to remove that which is not inflammable, has been put into that, has to be removed. No way. You can understand. Is there any way? Unless I remove it, it's not possible. So this is why the karma phalas. That is why Bhagavan said, hey Arjuna, without thinking, whatever you do, put it inside that. That means execution of karmas not on the basis of experimental experience, but the experienced experience. Now, when you know, again further you have to go on karma. Karma again, big problem, big chapter. So when I should know that this is living is my Yajna-kunda, and I am supposed to oblate the karmas into the Yajna-kunda, so that it doesn't create a karma phala for me to further execute on that. Once it's done, it should be finished. So when I have to do this, what happens? I will have to do only the right karmas. Then only I can oblate it. I should know what has to be put into that Agni. Is it not? Then only it will burn. So I should know this. Now to know this, again go back. To know this, which ghee should be poured? The adulterated ghee will not. We have got some camphor. When you light it, it is candle. You know what happened? These people, what they do? Candle को काट के छोटा छोटा पीस, उसमें कैम्फर, it is like a gold plated बोलता है, कैम्फर का डस्ट उसमें रोल किया है. The moment you burn, it burns like a candle. No, this one and burns like an other. Camphor will burn like that. No, this one will. That will burn. This will happen. This will happen if it is adulterated. The adulterated karma will not burn. It is a problem stuck. So I should know which karma should be oblated. In order to know which karma should be oblated, jnanam has to be there. Once the jnanam comes, what happens? Invariably, through the jnanam, when I am executing my life, automatically when I execute things as it has been designed by the Prakriti, it automatically comes to everyone. It comes automatically, and I told you in the 2-3 classes before, how one has to think. Even in the thought, I should not feel it is a karma that I am executing. When I say it is a karma, then only it has a classification of good karma and bad karma. In my thought, it is just happening. Yes, remember? Happening. Let the life flow according to that. To make that, it's not easy. To make that flow happening, I should remove the ignorance from me. I should have jnanam. When I got the jnanam, I will just do it. That's why the brahmacharis of Vaishambhayana continued their life very successfully after the scholarship from Maharishi. They continued life beautifully. Why? Because they knew what is to happen and what is called the karma. So the karma should be identified like that only. What is the karma? Just be there and it will automatically happen. The karma phalas are already there because you have earned it. It is there, it will come. Let it come and let it go. Let it understand. We support it and we go ahead with that. Tapasya will create the jnanam. I told about that. I think I don't want to repeat it. Will create the jnanam, then you know how to oblate it. So when you do this oblation like this, our life is better. So in order to do that, we should have the jnanam. Jnanam has to come from the Guru, from the Brahman, from the Guru, and the Brahma jnanam is attained. Kashta dukkha is also has to be oblated. Kashta dukkha is my karma phala, the candles I have cut and kept it. Just to let it be burned. Okay, slow burning will be there, at least it will burn. Okay, put it. Let it finish. Supporting, that's why the Guru, what is that? He said, what is that? Bhagavan Krishna said, hey Arjuna, put everything for that and I will get the result. In the sense, he is supporting the Guru, he is telling the Shishya, don't classify, don't think, because you are unable to think. You are not capable of thinking. That's why all these problems are happening. Don't think, just do. What is the meaning of it? Don't think. Just that's the meaning of that, no? That you do the karma, forget the result. That means don't think, you just do. That's all. What do you mean by don't think and you do it? Everything starts from the thought process. Everything starts from the thought. When he says don't think, he has indirectly told don't think, is it not? When you think, you will know it is a karma. So not to think, this is a karma. Now it's all words, a play of words, that's all. It's not actually happening. Not to think it is not a karma or it is a karma. How to do that? How to make it? Your thought has to be purified. How can the thought be purified? The thought can be purified only through the jnanam and tapasya. Through, when you do the jnanam and tapasya, thoughts will still come, but thoughts will not identify them as karmas. Thoughts will identify them as that it is happening. Oh, you may think that is very tough. Maybe you are thinking now, no? Is it tough? Absolutely wrong. Very simple. When it is raining, what do you think? Rains. Are you not thinking that it's happening? If there is a lightning, oh, lightning, even though you may get scared and all that, they say it's lightning. Do you think that something is somebody, you are doing it or somebody doing it? It's happening. There's a high tide and low tide. Every time it keeps on happening. What's it? It keeps on happening. You're not bothered about it, no? You're not identifying it as a karma. Same way. Now we are able to, what I am saying that you are not able to think is a wrong perception, is what I am trying to prove, that you are able to think and you are thinking those things which are happening. The day breaks, morning comes, sun rises and you get the light. It's happening and you don't bother about. Do you bother whether sunrise is at Even though they say that at 5:47 will be the sunrise, and 5:02 will be this sunset. Wait till 5:02 or 6 o'clock sunsets. It has to set and it has to rise. What is it? Happening. But it's happening. It's every day. It's a karma. It's happening. Without that we cannot survive also. But what happened? Even though it's a very vital part of it in our life, Surya is vital part. But even though it's happening, how could you think that? Is what my question is. You understood my point? Like what we think the Surya is rising and setting, the rain is raining and the clouds are raining and the river is flowing, lightning and the life. If somebody has born, somebody has to die. We all say that. It happens. It's also happening. I cannot stop it. This also we say. Right? It's all we say. Everything we say, we are accepting it. We know it's happening. The same way. How do you know this? Out of your jnana, whatever jnanam you have got, out of that you have learned it and you know it is the truth and you have accepted it is the truth. It has to happen. There's nothing. If it is born, if somebody is born, somebody has to die. There's nothing new to you. It has to happen and it's happening. Do you intervene on that? No. You support them dying. Support them growing old. Support them dying. What are we doing? Eating is to grow old. Eating is to die. See, when you classify, thousands of things will come. Everything, every step you put forward is for going towards the death, is it not? And because that's a fact and it is you have to die. Are you not accepting all these things or it is happening? If you can accept all these things are happening, why can't the other things also? Is what I'm saying. So it's not difficult to accept it, it's happening, not that, no. So what happened? Your thoughts, don't you have thoughts? You have thoughts. The thoughts will be, we call it as purified thoughts. When the impurities of I am manifesting it, I am not manifesting it, this is called a karma, this is called a karma bhala. I created these words because of my thoughts and manifestation of this. The moment I realize the truth of the Brahman and Brahma Tattvam, as I told you, the principle, the cause and effect, the principle, the Atmam, Adhyatmam and the Bhautikam, and the principle and the Stulata, the moment I understand it, my thought is purified. The moment the thought is purified, I don't identify that what I am doing is a karma. I identify that what I am doing is an oblation. When you do a karma there, do you say you are pouring ghee into the fire? Do you say that I am cooking? I don't say I am cooking, even though you are doing that. No? But where you pour here inside the kitchen, you say I am cooking. Here, when you pour in the Agni, you don't say you are cooking, you are oblating. I'm just giving an example. So, our thought purification has happened. When I understand, when it happens, if I understand this is a kitchen, I am cooking. If I understand this is a yajna kunda, I am oblating. So, if I understand my life and living is a yajna, I am oblating. If my life is my life and living, I am cooking. When you cook, you have to eat. Kartutva bodha, bhoktatva bodha. Okay, I am not cooking, I am baking, eat. Then also you have to eat. Alright? See how beautiful it is. Now why he has told this? To make us tell all this. See? So that many things will come from that. This is if it is directly told, oblate your karmas. How is it? This is how, anyway, we have just started. Please remind me from here, okay, from this position, which are at least 2-3 sentences I may require for continuity. Rest will Go ahead, even though I don't feel like stopping it. Om Shanti. I opened it for talking to you something. Fine, good. Amme. Shambho. Mahadeva.